What's going on, guys? My name is Kyle and welcome back. Now today we have a very exciting video because we have more presents to open. Now some of you might know I've been really unhappy with the way that the Lancer headlights look. We actually spent an entire video trying our best to get them back to a good looking condition. We used headlight cleaner, restoring kits, toothpaste, a bunch of stuff. If you haven't seen that, I'll link it up there. Go and check it out. But no matter how hard we tried, I couldn't get it back to what I wanted it to be. So I've been trying to keep an eye out for a new set of headlights for quite a while. And much to my disbelief, we actually got sent a brand new set of headlights for the Lancer. Look, I don't know either, but I'm very thankful. Let's just open up some presents, okay? Now I can't even begin to tell you how excited I am to look at these properly. I've opened them ever so slightly to make sure they are the right headlights, but I've never had them out of the box to really soak in how good they look, so we're gonna do that together. Before we open these up, I wanna say a massive thank you to the guys over at Sterling Parts for sending me these headlights. These guys have been incredible to us. Not only did they send us a brand new set of headlights, but they also sent us a brand new bonnet and bonnet hinges to go on the Lancer. If you haven't seen a video on that, it's up there. Go and check that out as well. But thank you again to the guys at Sterling Parts. I appreciate this. Let's just dive right in and have a look at how good these look. They look so much better. Oh my gosh. I've never had brand new headlights. I don't think I've ever had new headlights, to be honest with you. I've always just had replacements from the wrecker, or I've refreshed old ones. Look at that. How good is that? Oh my God. So it comes with all the hangers. It's pretty much ready to go. All I need to do is take the old headlights off, put these ones on, and then put the bulbs in. Everything is there ready to go. You can see you've got the little dust cover for the headlight bulbs. You have all the hangers. So this one sits on the top of the chassis, and then this one goes into the side as far as I'm aware. I've never taken the headlights off our Lancer. Unfortunately for us, it's not as simple as just taking off a headlight and putting one back on. I have to remove the front bumper and then take off the headlights, which shouldn't be that big of a deal, but I've also never taken a front bumper off a car, so we're gonna learn how to do that today too. All right, so here's the plan. I'm gonna get the Lancer, we're gonna bring the car into the garage, and we're gonna try our best to get the bumper off and get the old headlights out of the car as quick as possible. It's currently 10:45 in the morning, and today is supposed to be as hot as 35 or 36 degrees. For those that use Freedom units, that's really freaking hot in our garage with lights and cameras and all sorts of stuff. So I wanna try and get this done as quick as possible. I don't know how to do most of this stuff, so I'm not gonna be able to just smash through it. So let's just see how we go. First things first, let's get the car inside and just assess what we have to do to get the bumper off. So I've opened up the bonnet so we can see exactly how the headlights mount to the frame, and hopefully it might give us a bit of an insight as to how to take off the bumper. Let's have a look at the left headlight. So you can see this is the first hanger that hangs the headlight to the chassis. This is the second one, and I know that there's another one down underneath this part of the bumper. So I dare say that's gonna be hidden by this area of the car, I guess. So let's have a look to see how the bumper actually attaches. We can see we have a hanger here for the bumper to the car. We have another one here, and anything under the, oh, yep, there's a little bolt in here. Let me see if you can see that. There's a little bolt that sits to this rail just here that I think I'm just gonna have to use an extension and pull that off, I guess, and then, I don't know, we'll work it out from there and see what we need to do. This looks like there's supposed to be a screw in there, but I guess we'll try and take this one out first. It looks like it's missing the screw, and now the top. Well, okay, at least we got it off. I might need to replace that now, but baby steps, I guess. Let's try the other one. Hopefully we don't snap this one either. Okay, I got both the grill inserts out, so I have better access to these bolts down here. I have to say, I'm killing it. Out of all of the 6 screws that I had to take out of the front bumper, I have broken every single one so far. So that is 100% in my books. That's an A+. Let's try and take these bolts out from the frame. All right, so we got both of these bolts out. I'm gonna have a look around the bottom of the bumper now and see where it attaches, maybe into the wheel wells potentially, because that makes a little bit of sense. But so far it's looking to be a little bit looser, I guess. Let's have a look into the wheel wells and see if there's anything there that attaches to the bumper to the car. Okay, so having a look in here, you can see there's a dirt guard that should be attached, that's not attached, and there's little tabs here for the bumper, but they have nothing in them. There's nothing holding that part of the bumper in, which is kind of concerning. I hope the other side's not like that. Let's have a look. Okay, the other side isn't the same, so this has actually got the plugs in there, but you can see there's a plug here, a plug there. The other side's already done for us apparently, so I haven't got to worry about it. Anything else that attaches? Not really. Oh, by the looks of that there looks to be a bolt there, but I don't know if that's just for the front quarter panel. I'm sure we're gonna have to work that out. But let's take off these two, and then we'll have a look underneath the front lip and see if there's anything that attaches that to the bottom of the bumper. Okay, so I didn't go under the bumper yet to have a look because before I did that, I double checked the wheel well just to make sure that those bolts that we saw earlier didn't have to come out, but turns out they did. So I've taken both of them out from either side. Let's have a look under the bumper. I think this will be another job for the GoPro because there is no way I'm getting that camera under the car. Let's go have a look and see if we can find anything. So if we jack the car up, we'd get a much better look underneath the front bumper to see what we actually have to do, but I want to kind of not do that. I want to see how hard it would be to take off the front bumper in a situation where I couldn't completely jack up the car. Let's just see if we can get underneath it at all and then work out what we need to do. Okay, so there's a clip here. There's one there. This also holds in there, and I dare say that'll be the same on the other side. Yes, no, this one's broken. Oh God, the more we do this stuff under the car, the more I realize how much of it's busted. This is busted, so I guess we haven't got to worry about that one. There'll be the same on the other side. It's actually pretty loose already. Let's take the clips that are attached out, and then we'll see what else we need to do. So now that that's taken out from underneath, it feels like it's pretty ready to come out. So we'll take off those two Phillips head ones right at the front of the car and then see if there's any other contact points. I don't think there's anything else attaching it, but what do I know? Literally nothing. This is just a lot of trial and error, like taking something out of the bumper, giving it a good shake and seeing if it's still fixed anywhere and just repeating that process. I don't know if that's the best way to go about anything, but so far it seems to be working. So let's try and take these ones out. Okay, so this all seems very loose now. I think this is ready to come off. Let me move the camera back and we'll see if we can loosen it up enough to remove it. I hope I haven't missed any steps, but I think this is all I have to do. Oh, there we go. First time taking a bumper off, baby. Let's go. I am very freaking happy with that. I can't believe I've never done something like this before, but now that I've taken it off, I feel like I've accomplished something that I've wanted to do for a while. Now you can see we have this clip here for the headlight, this one up the top, this one on this side. So that's all we have to do. Undo the bulbs, take those 3 bolts out, and we're ready to start changing some headlights, baby. I know that taking off a front bumper for most people is gonna seem pretty trivial, but I feel like I've accomplished something. So thank you for witnessing that with me. I appreciate you. Let's just get this one out of the way for now. Let's start taking some headlights off. I think the first one I want to focus on is this one right here. So we're going to start off with the right-hand headlight, or the one on our left. I think we'll unplug all of the wiring and just take out the whole unit in one, because it might be easier to put the bulbs back in, the new ones, when it's out of the car instead of having to do it in the car. I don't know. Let's take this one off. There we go. Headlight number 1 has been removed. Look at that. One thing that I did just realize that I haven't actually thought about yet is there's wiring still attached to this headlight. I have no idea what's going to be the deal with that, so let's open up one of the new ones and see what they look like. This clip doesn't look like it plugs into anything. It looks like this is just the parking light and the wiring harness holder, essentially. It just looks like that's clipped on to this part here, which would make sense. Let's try and take it off that and put it on this, I guess. So that one's in place, and this one clipped. It clipped like this onto this part, if I'm not wrong. I think I'm wrong. Now I don't remember. This part was on top, so it was like this. Okay, so the reason that I was so confused is this part of the wiring harness needs to slip onto this little bracket here, but the problem is this bracket is so much thicker than the original factory one, so it doesn't quite fit into the tiny little groove that works with this harness. So I'm gonna have to get a Stanley knife and maybe shave that down just a little bit. I don't know how much it needs to come down, but by the looks of it, it's still pretty chunky. Looks pretty chunky in comparison. I've got a knife here. Let's see if we can just shave it down just a little bit. All right, let's see if that was enough. It needs to go down just a little bit more. There we go. Okay, it's not perfect. I would wish that it sort of went down just a little bit further, but you can see I'm going to snap the bracket before I get that back off. So it's not going anywhere, and it is just to hold the connector, but Yeah, I wish that would have fit just a little bit nicer. All right, so before I plug anything in and test anything, I'm gonna just chuck this into the car, mount it on, and make sure it all fits and that everything seems to be aligned properly, because that would be worst case scenario. To mount it in, plug everything in, and then nothing fits. So let's try and mount this. All right, that seems to be in there. I'm just gonna do these bolts up finger tight just to make sure that we are all in alignment. So far, the lining up seems to be working quite well. Let's have a look. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That seems really, really good. It lines up with the fender really, really well. Hopefully the bonnet will close. I'm gonna tighten it up and try. But look how much nicer that makes the car look. These are the new ones, and these are the old ones. Look at how different that is. That's crazy. Okay, let's tighten this down 100%. I'm gonna try and close the bonnet, make sure that that all works properly, and we'll plug some in and test it. All right, she's bolted down. Let's see if we can close this bonnet, and hopefully it will all still line up. Okay, it took a little bit more persuasion than I thought it would, but I don't think that has anything to do with the headlight. I think that might be something to do with not having the bumper on. I have no idea, but looking at this, it seems to follow the line quite well, and it's pretty much exactly the same as the factory headlight, so I call that a win. Huh, okay. Well, listen. Turns out the bonnet closes absolutely fine, and it has nothing to do with the bumper not being on the car. It's because I had a pair of needle nose pliers sitting right there, and I didn't see it, and I'm an idiot. So let's get rid of these. Now the bonnet works fine. Sometimes I just continue to surprise myself. Anyway, let's plug in all the bulbs, let's test it out and see how it looks. The headlight is on, all the globes are plugged in, so let me close some doors and let's test it out and see how she looks. Let's turn on the headlight. Okay, I'm definitely seeing some light. That looks really freaking nice, man. Let's try high beams and the indicator as well. High beam. Oh, dude, that looks great. I mean, I wish the light was a little bit whiter, but the clear lens alone is credible. Okay, I was gonna try the indicators, but I need the ignition for that, so let's just try the hazard lights. Oh, come on now. Oh, that looks amazing. Oh, dude, that is so cool. I am so freaking happy with that. That is so freaking cool. I'm chuffed. That's wicked. Okay, let's do the next one. All right, now that we know what we need to do, let's take the old one off. We'll put the other one on, get both headlights finished, and see what they look like. I'm so excited. There we go. Second headlight is done, and it looks just as good as the other one, believe it or not. So all we really have to do now is put the bumper back on the car. But before I do that, what I'm gonna do is take the chance to go through all the exposed parts of the plastic that sits underneath the engine and just make sure it's all secure, because a lot of those plastic screws just aren't there anymore. So luckily I have a full stash of them because I've broken more of them than I care to think about. I'm just gonna take a couple of minutes to go through it all and make sure that it is secure, because I mean, we're this far into it now, we may as well fix it while we're here. And then all we have to do is get the front bumper, put that back on the car, and replace some of the plastic screws that I broke, understandably. And then once that's all done, we're pretty much finished. So I'm gonna do all that now, and then we'll grab the bumper, chuck that back on, and see how she looks. Let's go. There we go, headlights are done, front bumper's back on, everything is so much sturdier than it ever has been, and everything lines up. I am so freaking happy. I didn't think it was gonna be that easy to get the bumper back on. I thought it was gonna be a little bit harder, but I think I was just so intimidated because I'd never taken one off before, but the minute you remove one, it's not that hard. It's not as hard as you think it would be. So if you are nervous about taking a front bumper off, you can do it. It's a hell of a lot easier than you think it is. Go and try it. Like I said before, it is super freaking hot today. It has literally just hit 1 p.m. I've been doing this for a couple of hours and it is roasting in here. It could have definitely been worse if I was wearing a shirt that wasn't so breathable and stylish for working on your car in the garage. Links in the description. But I'm super happy with everything that we did today. So I'm gonna close the bonnet, make sure everything still lines up as well as it did before we put the bumper on. Then I think I might take some of that sexy B-roll so you can see exactly how good they look. Let's do it. So there you go. Look at how good they are. I am so freaking happy that this is done and finally ticked off my list. I've been thinking about replacing these pretty much since we bought the car, so to have them finally finished is amazing. I was also pretty nervous to do this today because I've never taken the bumper off. I've never really taken the headlights out of this car. I had no real idea of what I had to do, but getting into it and just starting was enough for me to learn what I needed to learn, and now I know how to do it. I have to say the finished product is a million times better than I expected it to be. I want to say another massive thank you to the guys over at Sterling Parts for sending these headlights our way. If you guys don't know who Sterling Parts are, they're a parts supplier here in Australia that ship to pretty much most parts of the country. They have a ton of different parts for a bunch of different makes and models. So if you're looking for a certain part, or if you have a Lancer and you want to get some headlights for yourself, I'll leave the link in the description, or you can go to sterlingparts.com.au. Thank you again. If you guys like this video, don't forget to leave it a thumbs up. Also subscribe. I post new videos every week, and you don't want to miss them. Don't forget to follow us on social media. I'll leave all the links in the description. Other than that, I'm going to leave you guys to it. I love your faces. See you next week. Bye.